Okay, here's our second video. We have ICD-10 PCS, getting a little glare here from the light. Again, as with our ICD-10 CM, this is the complete official draft code set. We have a reminder here that it's the draft. This is as of 2009. We went over that in the first video about it being a draft. Got a lot of information to squeeze into this. YouTube only gives 10 minutes per video, so I want to try and get this all crammed into this. When you're looking at our ICD-10 PCS codes, our process for looking up these codes is completely different. When I first got here, I had a lot of anxiety about this. I was very excited about the ICD-10 CM because I knew that was so similar to what we do with ICD-9 and how we look up codes. I was fine with that. When we started this ICD-10 PCS, it took no time at all before I absolutely loved this. And, change is really, really difficult. I've been doing this since the early 90s, and, I've done, it's one of those, I've always done it this way, why are we changing it? This is so much better because we're actually, instead of finding things that are similar that are grouped together, we are actually coding specifically what was done for each one of the codes. And I'm just going to show you a couple of examples here after I show you how to build an ICD-10 PCS code. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what makes up a PCS code. What we have here is the structure of the code. We have 7 characters. And the first character is our section. The second character is our body system. The third character is our root operation. The fourth one is our body part. The fifth one is our approach. The sixth one is the device. And the seventh one is the qualifier. Now, this is how most of the codes in PCS are set up. Most of the codes you will find are in the medical surgical section. We do have additional ones that I'm going to be showing you. Let's hop over to this other book here. This table has a listing of the different section codes, and so these are the values of that first character for your section. So you see I have highlighted the medical and surgical section. This is where most of your codes are. Then value 2 is obstetrics, value 1 is obstetrics, value 2 is placement, value 3 is administration, and so on. And so you can see how these are. They may make perfect sense. Then we go to our root operation, which is our third value. Our third value in our root operation is need to find this here. Here it is. Our root operations. We have alteration, bypass, change, control, creation, destruction, detachment, dilation, division, drainage, excision. Here's a new word you might not know what it is. Extirpation, extraction, fragmentation, fusion, insertion, inspection, mapping, occlusion, reattachment, release, removal, repair, replacement, reposition, resection, restriction, revision, supplement, transfer, and transplantation. And each one of these has a definition of what their values are. Okay, then after we go through our root operations, and I will post something on the website or on the InAngel that has what the definitions for each one of these are. Then we go to our fourth digit, which is the body part. That's pretty self-explanatory. You guys can figure that one out. Then we go to our approach. We have this wonderful table, and I guess I can't turn this sideways, sorry about that. We have this table here that outlines what the values are for each one of these approaches. So in our fifth digit, if we had something that was done via a natural or artificial opening, our value for that digit or for that character would be 7. So we can have open, percutaneous endoscopic, via a natural or artificial opening, via a natural or artificial opening endoscopic. When we say endoscopic, that means that we are visualizing something through a scope. Via natural or artificial opening with percutaneous endoscopic assistance. And then we have external procedures. So that takes care of our fifth one. Then we go back over here and we look at our number 6 is our device. This is for any devices that are left in at the end of the procedure. So if they put in something that's going to be staying, such as Pins if you're going to be doing a fixation of a fracture, if they're putting a monitoring device in, if they're going to put a catheter in that's going to stay in, and so on. And this will be different for each one of the different sections. Then we have our qualifier. A qualifier gives additional information, and you'll see that in the two examples that I'm going to do. So we're going to go back to our example that we had with our patient that had the lumbar puncture done. And we get this funny looking code here, 009U3ZX. Wow, how did we get that? Well, there's two different ways that we can look these up. First way I'm going to show you is using an index. Now this index is a lot different than what you guys used. We're going to be looking up by the approach. So the approach for a lumbar puncture, we are draining fluid out of the spinal canal. It's very important that you know what an operation, how an operation is done. So we have drainage. We go on down here, and then we find our spinal canal. Then after that, you see, following that code, we have a number here, 009U. So let's go to our table that has that 009U. So here it is. It's actually on 2 pages. We have 009U here, and we have it here. This is kind of an awkward one to show you, but it shows you how these tables can go onto 1 or more pages. So down on this one, we see we have our spinal canal here, and we have it here. In order to build our code, you see how these tables have the different rows. I've highlighted the terms that we need for this to be able to show you how we're building this code. So we've got our 009 on here. We go down to our U for our spinal canal. We go over here, and for our approach, this was percutaneous, but our device, they did not leave a drainage device in. When they do a lumbar puncture, they take out the fluid, and then that's it. So we know this isn't the code we want. So let's go to the next row on this table. Well, we've got our spinal canal, we have our percutaneous, no device, and this was a diagnostic procedure because we were trying to figure out what was wrong with the patient. So we have our code here, 009U3ZX. Not too difficult. All right, the next way that we're going to do this is we're going to be using these tables in back. And we've got these appendices. There's one here that has our root operation definitions. With each one of them, it gives a definition, an explanation of the procedure, and examples of it. The next table we have back here is what I'm going to use to build this code. So these are by the character meanings based on, we've got the medical and surgical section, and then each one of the pages has a different body system. So this page has our central nervous system. This one has our peripheral nervous system. Here's our heart and great vessels, and you'll see how each one of them has a different digit. So where's our spinal canal? It's in the central nervous system. So we have our first character, second character. Those are both zeros. Then what kind of procedure was it? It was a drainage, so there's our 9. What was our body part? It was our spinal canal. Our approach was percutaneous, so you see there's our 3. Device, no device. And then our qualifier, it was diagnostic. So you see how we have that. Now you do not want to stop at this table because remember we had to make sure all of the characters were in the same row. And I'm going to show another example of how to find a code that's going to show that a little bit better. We have a patient who had this open reduction internal fixation, and you need to read the operative report to see what they did. With this one right here, I'm going to run out of time on this video, so I might be, let's end this, and I'm going to start on another one for this one.